What's up? What's up? Big Ched's coming to you live here. What is this? September 13th. I don't even know what day it is anymore. That's the kind of grind we're in, folks. I am of course on Twitter at Big Cheds, and this is not a drill. This is not a drill. We are joined by at Big Chonis. Anything you want to say to the people, my friend?
Yay! Hey, everybody tonight.
Good. You got the TV on back there? What's going on?
It's the crowd behind me. They're very happy I've gone live, and they're excited. Hey, easy, quiet down here. I'm on live here. All right. Shh. Yeah, it's happy to be with each other tonight.
That's pretty good. I didn't know we had those kind of special effects. You know what I mean? So anyway, you can find my man on Twitter, of course, at Big Chonis. He also is on YouTube at Chonis Trading. He is my partner in crime, of course, and I am a proud member and teacher and analyst at Bitcoin Live. We'll talk more about that later. And of course, Chonis, you do a one-on-one mentoring. Anything you want to say about that before we get started?
Yeah, I'm scheduling currently for the second half of September here. It's a great way if you're, new to the crypto market, want to learn some basic TA strategies, trading strategies, and just trying to get a better understanding of our market and allow you to kind of set some trading disciplines that can help you in the long run. So if you have any interest in that, becoming one of my students, please reach out to me, DM me at Twitter, at Big Chonis, or send me an email at bigchonis@gmail.com.
It's beautiful, my man, beautiful. So where are we at right now? Let's pull up Bitcoin, brother. I don't know, what time frame are you watching right now, Big Chonis?
Well, listen, we had a great day yesterday, so we're just kind of consolidating, which is expected from this really nice move we just had there. It's kind of one of those situations here where we broke so bearish over last week that we're kind of just unwinding slightly from this major oversold experience here, being able to finally find some supports in areas that had recently been resistance is very encouraging. But, low volume, the lack of tether pumping, and just this kind of, the pattern we're watching now almost feels like it's a kind of a similar pattern than the last couple times we have found a bearish bottoming, turn that into a bullish impulse wave up. It just seems very similar, but on a very smaller scale. And, it gives me a lot of pause in terms of, how can this be the move, or how can this be the momentum needed to create some sort of a change in our most recent Bitcoin price action that keeps putting in lower highs? Now, we have been putting in higher lows and are holding that on this move. So until that is broken, we keep putting in this very tighter equilibrium here. So lower highs, higher lows, tighter price action, lower volume, all these things is what I'm basically factoring in when I'm trying to figure out what my next move is. We had a very defined resistance line you have drawn there, and because we were able to break bullishly from it, normally when we break bullishly from very intense, strong resistance lines, you tend to look for some sort of a back test to confirm that line that was once resistance is now acting as support. And by doing so, that would also allow a lot of our indicators, our Stoke, which is currently kind of overbought for some time, our RSI, which has moved up a lot, even though price action really hasn't moved up, I feel, equivalently. I feel this quicker rise in the RSI with kind of a subtle rise in the price is almost a little bit of a bearish divergence where we've kind of lost some runway in our side, where we haven't moved up too significantly in the price action here, but can kind of consolidate, allow our EMAs to kind of come up and add a cushion support. Even if we do back test our line here, we would still be putting in a higher low overall. And as long as that line holds,
which line? The one I have highlighted?
The black there, yeah, which basically was a diagonal that was holding this neckline at a slow descending line there, if you want to maximize that on your screen.
Well, but hold on, my friend. I mean, this is notable too. We have support here from this drop from September 6th. We're on a 6-hour chart. So clearly this is also, you have a kind of a convergence, right, of support, right? Two big levels. You have the horizontal and the diagonal support.
Yeah, and so the fact that that is the case, I don't see why the bulls would really capitulate now at this point,
Mm-hmm.
where as long as these other areas are available to test and hold support.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as I said, by doing so, can allow the chart to reset
Mm-hmm.
and allow your price action to move higher. Now, we are kind of breaking out a little bit right here. We're trying to retest these areas of resistance. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I had set up our 4-hour MA 200, which I've been
Mm-hmm.
using as a resistance around the 6600 area as our next major area I'd like to test.
Do you want to
And
take a look? Should we take a look at your setup? I mean, I just kind of illustrated a couple resistance levels I'm looking at, Big Jonas. You know,
yeah, just got I got sharing here the
okay, give me just a second. We'll pop that up here, folks. I like how you set it up. You do it a little differently than me. So let's show everybody, and you guys can kind of take a look at that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm looking at here. I'm on the 4-hour chart, and you know
Mm-hmm.
our very strong red line here is our 200 MA
Mm-hmm.
on the 4-hour, and I note that as interest in the fact that over here,
Mm-hmm.
well, I can even go back farther and basically show that right here when we were breaking bearish. Well, first it was basically it's acted many times as resistance, support, resistance. Initial resistance, support, and the back test here,
Mm-hmm.
notable that it held and
Mm-hmm.
actually produced a very nice bullish candle and a continuation there.
Mm-hmm.
When we broke bearish here, other than our 7K region,
200. This is 200 simple moving average.
200 simple on the 4-hour.
Can you go back? Can you go back? Can we see a little more? I know you mentioned. I just want to see how the price. Okay. All right. Okay. Yep.
It's one of those things that when you break it, you can break it.
Mm-hmm.
When you back test, when you break it bullishly, okay, we broke bullishly. We actually tried to back test. We didn't even get back down there. This move was so bullish.
Mm-hmm.
We broke bearishly. We totally back tested it here,
Mm-hmm.
and it was resistance all the way through June. We were able to hit it once here, rejected strongly, but finally broke bullish, bearish again, and then popped through. We also had our kind of similar chart. Look at that. It's very similar right here. This pattern here we had. Can
I comment? I mean, I get that, but for me, it's more of the moving average crosses, in my view, that have more significance because you don't see the price each time it's going through. It's 1 or 2 points. So I don't know that it's really.
Because I feel in the most recent history where we actually see it was resistance, the back test is significant.
Okay, that's okay.
It's the only moment in this 4-hour drop where we actually did find initial support, and the fact that we haven't hit it yet allows me to target it as long as our yellow line, EMA 55, is currently holding support, and that's what it's doing right now.
What's crossing there? I see you drew kind of a triangle consolidation, and that's you have a bull break clearly on the bottom, right?
And we do have a bull cross, as you're pointing out. Our 4-hour, my EMAs, our 12 and my 26, have crossed and confirmed a bullish cross here.
But what's the volume behind it? How's the signal, right? How good a cross is it? Is there good volume or?
The volume is not there yet, and we also can go way back here to see it took us several crosses.
Those are weak crosses. Those are kind of iffy crosses.
We could actually spread out and have more consistency. So for that to happen, for this fan out, we actually got to get much more up here, closer to my 55. And once all three were synced up, then we could actually.
But there's different texture. That's a different texture to those bottoms. At the right, you're showing almost like a bungee cord bottom, right? And it's different there. That's more of like a slow ascension when it's trying to cross. Initially, yes. You see how initially it's a similar sharp drop. The difference between this drop is we're attempting to cross over sooner than the past drop. Like if you scroll back, my friend Big Chonis, if you scroll back, right? Just a little bit in time, you can see how it was a similar precipitous drop, but it took it a little bit more time to cross over, an attempt to cross that purple and that yellow line.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, man, no doubt.
But this is interesting, and I just want to talk a little bit about,
hold on. You totally don't get what I'm saying. Scroll back. Make it bigger. Make it bigger. You're bluffing. Look. Okay. Look how the price is dropping initially here. What is that? Like August 6th or 7th. And it takes a while, right? And it takes a while for it to attempt to try to cross back over the yellow, right? Because a much weaker bounce. We're bouncing much quicker, right? We have this triangle consolidation. Initially, you had a bearish continuation and breakdown, right? Bearish continuation pattern breakdown back in August 6th and 7th, right? That's a difference. We didn't have as much of a, like, it was a continuation, but it was a bull break. So this is a different texture bottom. Do you see what I'm saying? Than back here, like at the August 7th area, 7 through 13.
I don't know. I see an inverse head and shoulders more or less here. I see an inverse head and shoulders more or less here. I see an inverse head and shoulders more or less here. And I see an inverse head and shoulders more or less here. And every time, eventually, there was a bull break. Now, this one, I mean, if it's, again, how do you compare them? Because all three are slightly different. One,
well, what matters? If the lows are higher or not, right? Isn't that what matters?
Well, I think what also matters is just the size of it and the fact that it's so little from a structure standpoint.
It's tighter, right? It's
a lot tighter. Now, we had a tighter one here that gave us some pretty nice bull moves here, but this was a different...
Good volume, though. Big volume. Look at that. See that volume candle? Yeah. And the size. Look how big that candle is. That suggests continuation when you have a candle that big and that volume behind it. That was impressive.
This is our pitchfork that has held resistance and once again hitting the line, which happens to be our 382. Where are my things here? There we go.
You were showing me fibs. You showed me the fibs earlier. What do we got here?
So this is a pitchfork. Now the pitchfork lines are fib lines. So I have anchored my
How do you set it though? Like how do you set the boundaries on it?
You set it and you forget it. Ron Popeil style.
True. That's how you sous vide stuff. I heard you sous vide like that.
Sous vide, yes. So listen, this line continues to act as resistance. And as I said earlier, you can see our yellow line, 55 holding support. You see where our red MA200 is. And you see our next target. Now, sideways price action, even if we actually hit in our next fib bullishly, doesn't necessarily mean we're going like to a higher major price here. These are all resistance levels. We talk about how quickly we were able to fall. So is this an open window of space? I don't think it is. I think we have to consider a lot of our previous resistances back in our last run here. And right now where we're hitting this major resistance literally coincides with our neckline here of our double inverse head where that broke us bullshit here. So history is replaying resistances which were once supports, resistances again. Once we were able to break through this, we had a very nice
It should have held, but bulls would have had to have held it, and since they didn't, it becomes significant resistance.
And we are touching it a little faster here. You notice the first time we broke very bullish.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Back.
Yeah,
this did happen to be a very unique time. This was the BitMax went offline. It was a pump. It was kind of very, very shady. But because of that, we're hitting that line there. Now, you mentioned the volume, and I agree. Our volume is suspect, okay? Our volume is suspect because we keep trickling up on low volume, and our chalk and money flow is kind of confirming that.
Is that like Bitcoin Cash, chalk and money? Is that like Bitcoin Cash?
I can't confirm that. I've been muted by Ver. So this is showing us our bearish divergence still in our chalking, and we're still putting in lower highs here every time we actually
lower highs. But how about lows? How are the lows? Yeah, lower lows too.
Not really yet. I'm still seeing lower lows. When we actually make bearish.
It's still a wedge, falling wedge, roughly.
Yeah, roughly. But again, this is showing that the money isn't the real money. You know, the bearish divergence on our OBV, still continues. We rose a good amount in Bitcoin. We have a lower OBV. I'm not convinced on this move in terms of the support line. And if you were convinced that this move here held good support, and then it took us a day to drop a G, then I can't be confirmed that this one has any much more strength than this one did.
I think it's really good. Really good analysis. Really good analysis. I'll say like two things, and then I want to ask you like maybe 3 minutes on Ethereum. I mean, what if we're maybe putting it in the top here? It could be a bear flag, So and clearly we're running into an area of resistance, like you pointed out. So I think we have to watch the candlesticks. Watch those upper wicks, and kind of watch the volume for signal. I'm looking at the volume candle, my friend. You go back 2 volume candles. See that big red one? That's the big daddy right now. That's in charge. So you gotta. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm watching. You watch that, and you kind of see how the price action follows. What do you think about Ethereum? I remember you told we were on the phone and you said Ethereum 168 or 69. You're like, you were like, oh, I can't believe it, kind of thing. And I looked, what is it, 216 now? That would have been an amazing trade. Are you kidding me?
So I actually had a bull target of 220 earlier, and I want to show you why. Which was again, I'm on the 4-hour chart here.
220. Okay.
And hold on, let me pull it up here. And so, all right, first we got to acknowledge here.
Yeah.
We had bottoming capitulation volume. We had, let me go to my daily chart here, because this kind of told the story. We had a very nice bottom hammer. We had a very nice follow-up Maribozu. Now, again, our EMA 12, that was the touch. That's our first touch of our 12. And look at that wick there.
Wait, is that candle finished, though? What candle are you looking at? A daily?
This is the daily.
So this is today. So that doesn't matter yet.
No, it's done. It's over. It's over. It's over. Done.
No. That's the day we're in right now.
All right, so listen, I was expecting at least a 220 hit, which was our MA12.
Well, that's yesterday, though. You show where's today's candle? What is it? 10.
Right here.
So that just started. What's more important is the candle before it has massive volume. It's a bullish engulfing. You're looking at a 3 outside up. That's pretty darn good, right? It's almost a Maribozu, pretty much, right? A little bit. It's not shaven top, right? It's shaven bottom. The way, anyway, but it's pretty. But this is today's candle, the one you're highlighting, that little tiny body.
Yes, but that's not my point. My point is that we have touched to the dollar our EMA 12.
Yeah, but
finally,
we're only 1/12 in the candle. You can't really
doesn't
interpret.
matter.
You can't interpret this candle on a daily basis, right? It's only.
I'm interpreting why we have currently hit resistance, and I was expecting at least one touch of my EMA 12. So we've hit it, target achieved, and that's where I'm at. So because of that, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm much more bullish after that. We're looking at our 4-hour Bollinger. Okay, we're above here. Why are my candles gotten highlighted? There we go.
Wow, that's pretty good. Look at that. Okay. You keep breaking those higher highs. You keep breaking them, huh? That's pretty good.
Declining bull volume, rising price.
Yeah.
Double break of our upper BB. Okay, I like the movement, but again, I've hit my target one more time, and I'll do just a quick.
That's smart. That's smart trading. You're recognizing position and channel. That's smart trading, Big Chonis.
We're finally hit the 1, 2, 3, 6 of this extension here. Now, this doesn't mean that this is over, but I am fine consolidating as low as, drum roll, like 195 to 193. And as long as that would probably coincide with another touch of our EMAs and our middle BB area, which will be rising as these 4-hour candles continue, as long as that area holds there, boom, we can definitely continue this move here. We were really oversold our ether. They don't matter. Oops. Chris Hayes has just popped up here. And then one more thing I want to touch. Once again, and unfortunately I can't show you where it hit, but this is our daily RSI. Now you see where it bottomed here at 20, but it didn't bottom at 20. It actually touched 18 intraday, which was the 167 bottom of Ethereum. So for the third time here, wow, and now here,
look at that, huh?
Anytime ETH on the daily gets sub, let's say 20, has been a very good buying opportunity. Now, what I would caveat is that this one here, okay, this one's very spread out. So boom, boom. Now we're closer now on finding our tap here.
Triple bottom. It's a triple bottom, right?
It's a triple bottom with a quad bottom floater.
Ooh, I've never heard that one, but I like it.
Okay, which means that if we get down here for a fourth time, I am freaking out bearishly.
But if you come back for a fourth time, then it's really a double bottom, because you have the first area on April and then the second area in like September, October.
Now, did we climb from 20 to 36 with a, what, 25%?
Bro, can we just talk about the sentiment? People were talking about Ethereum to 0. Do you see what I'm saying? Like that.
That's ridiculous. That's just retarded.
Like that felt like the bottom, right? When everyone, it's so, isn't it uncanny how like when people are just ready to throw it away, like that's the bottom?
I'll give you more. I'll give you people that are putting news out on Twitter that's fake just because they want to get it out there first,
Mm-hmm.
and then have to backtrack because they realized they were punked. I mean, listen, you
Mm-hmm.
want to be if you want to be, a helpful resource on Twitter, and you want to show specific news, you got to be accurate in what you're saying and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. That's why if you feel there's specific bullish or bearish news that you want to put out, make sure you know the source it's coming from and not just some random tweets out there, because Twitter is it's a wild west of terms of information. So listen, Twitter was very bearish on Ethereum and it proved them
Mm.
wrong. I bet you a lot of people capitulated on Ethereum, in this, let's say, sub 200 area here, and now kind of kicking themselves. So Ether
Mm.
bullishly has helped alts
Mm-hmm.
find some stability.
Mm-hmm.
If it can keep going, sure enough, the market can move. If Bitcoin breaks bearish, I
Mm.
cannot see this will last longer here. We
Mm-hmm.
need some continuation. The volume is in Ethereum mostly because it was just super oversold,
Mm-hmm.
much bearishly and everything. But as always, Bitcoin runs the show. I
Mm.
see a couple more $100, $100 maybe in Bitcoin on the way up, but there's a better chance for it for resetting much
Mm.
lower until we can find some more stability in the market and more volume. Until that, be safe and trade safe.
Wait, hold on. We're not. I just wanted to switch back to my computer. We have to like wrap the show.
I didn't say we had to wrap the show.
Ah. But that was great. Thanks for showing. I like your setup. Like, it's nice to see. First of all, I like how you have a different, like the colors. You're really good at with customizing trading
Thanks.
view. Yeah, that's pretty good. You're always every time you come over, you're like, why haven't you fixed that yet? Why? And it's like you fix it every time. So thanks to you, my on balance volume is a little bit darker, and hopefully you guys can see that right now. So I'll just kind of wrap things up real quick with Bitcoin. And then we'll kind of call it a night. So really, Big Chonis really made a great point. I want to finish up on Ethereum. Is it going to continue? I don't know, Big Chonis. It's this volume though, and this candle are pretty good. Like this volume candle suggests continuation, but I don't know what the consolidation will look like. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it might need to come back and test the midpoint of this candle. That wouldn't be unlikely. So I could totally see Ethereum.
ETH was the best play because it was the most bearish. Broke more
Mm.
bearish than Litecoin.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It broke significantly more bearish than Bitcoin.
Mm.
So it had the best opportunity for a better bounce.
Mm-hmm.
That's playing out.
Mm.
And that's playing out because we've seen that with other coins like EOS and stuff, that wherever Bitcoin finds a nice bounce
Mm-hmm.
and EOS also bounces, you get a 3%er on Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
but you can get up to a 7, 8, 9%er on EOS. Ethereum was a very similar pattern there. So Litecoin did a similar bounce, but
look at the volume though. Look at there's no it's nowhere near the volume,
it's
right?
weak. It's weak,
It's
and
weak.
that's why this whole move in Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
I like the consolidation. Again, we can trickle up, but the tightening pattern only suggests a little bit more up, but the overall market suggests a much more farther down.
All right, brother. I know you always keep it real, and you have a very sober-minded analysis, which I appreciate. You can find him on Twitter at Big Chonis. You gotta work on that. I like the concept, but I'm not sold on execution or the actual sound yet. You can find me on Twitter at Big Cheds. I am a proud teacher and analyst at Bitcoin Live. Bitcoin Live is the best in class educational platform for crypto. We have unique educational content as well as timely alerts and just a great community of learning. If you want to check out our webinars, they are on YouTube. And, of course, we have a monthly and a quarterly option now available. If you want to check that out before committing to the 1-year best price. And with that, I want to really thank you guys for joining. If you guys, you got to check out Big Chonis on Twitter on YouTube. Chonis Trading. He does 3 times as many videos as I do. So you got to check it out. He has really good content. And, you know, once again, I appreciate you guys stopping by and lending us some of your time. And with that, I will bid you adieu. Cheds out.